How to install the Mavic Air 2 battery decals, that coming up right after this. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Ryan. If you're new here, on this channel we do a lot of tips, tricks, and tutorials, product reviews, mostly drone related, also some videography and photography related items. If that's something that interests you, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It's greatly appreciated. So today we're going to talk about the Mavic Air 2 decals that we just came out with. If you're familiar with any of our other Mavic series decals, this is a similar installation process. If you have not ever installed any of our decal sets, let's first start off by reviewing what composes our decals. These decal sets are composed of 3 different parts. On the top part, you can kind of see there's a transparent shiny side to this side. That's called the transfer tape. That essentially lifts up the decal that's below. So you have the transfer tape, the vinyl computer cut graphic below that, the decal itself, and then you also have the backing paper. The backing paper and the transfer tape you'll throw away when we're done. So the first thing we need to do before we go do anything with this decal, we need to clean off all the surfaces of the decal as well as all the batteries that you have that you're going to be installing them on, and we clean them with rubbing alcohol. I do not recommend using any other type of cleaner like Windex or anything like that. It does leave residues. Rubbing alcohol is safe to use on your drone as long as you don't oversaturate your electronics. So any household rubbing alcohol works. I have these alcohol prep pads. Those also work. We'll just wipe down all the surfaces. So basically this decal set just goes on the top surface. So we just wipe that down real good. And then we need to let that dry. So I'm going to go ahead and do all my batteries all at the same time. And again, don't oversaturate it. And so they're all cleaned off. So now what we need to do, we need to cut this decal apart into 4 different pieces. We have obviously 3 battery decals, and then the other part that makes up the decal set is the top decal that goes up here. So just using some sharp scissors, just cut it in. Make sure you do not cut any of the colored vinyl. This backing is a little bit different. It has a light blue backing since it's a white decal, but typically that backing color will be white if you got another different color. So we are just going to cut this apart. There's the top. All right. So we'll start off by doing a battery decal. Now you can take it out, you can leave it in however you want. I think it's probably easier just to leave it in. Kind of helps stabilize the whole thing. So what we need to do in order to start installing this, we need to remove the backing paper first. Now the backing comes off easiest if you simply just lay it face down on a table and you grab a corner of that backing and you roll it back. Now, if you ever see any of your decal lifting off with this backing, make sure that you kind of roll it back down and rub it either with your hands or a credit card or squeegee just on the back side of it, and then try again. But you can kind of see I'm rolling this back at a 180-degree angle. I'm not lifting up at all. We do not want to lift that decal off that transfer tape. So we do that, and we can then just throw this backing paper away. So let's get our drone back in here. All right, now the easiest way to install these battery decals is to first start off by lining up the DJI logo on the bottom. We have outlined that pretty well. So once that's lined up, just verify that your circle around your battery is lined up. Try that again. Now don't give it any pressure until you make sure it's all the way and lined up exactly the way you want it. Once you put a little pressure on it, then it's going to stick. This is very pressure sensitive adhesive. So once you're sure you like it, And I want to line that up just a little bit better. All right, now before you take any kind of credit card or a squeegee or anything like that to it, what we want to do is just first rubbing just with your finger, just some light pressure. We're going to start in the very middle, work our way around, just get the middle first, and then work your way out to each of the edges. This makes sure we don't get any bubbles in it. Make sure it all lays down nice and flat. And then you can start pressing a little harder once you get that side down. Then we'll work our way over to the other side here. All right, once you get that on, then we're going to use either a credit card or a squeegee in order to really push that down. Now, make sure you don't scratch your drone. Just stay on that transfer tape and you should be fine. But then we want to make sure we just squeegee it really good. All right, now we have to take off this transfer tape. So just like we removed the backing, we're going to make sure we kind of fold it back, use a 180-degree angle. And if any of the decal starts to lift off, just make sure you just push it down. There's like a micro texture on all the newer Mavics, the Mavic 2, the Mavic Mini, and now the Mavic Air 2. That decals have a slightly harder time sticking to it to start, but once you get that on and peel that back, you are good to go. All right, so there's one of the battery decals. Obviously, for your remaining battery decals, repeat that same step, so we'll get these out of the way for now. And lastly, we need to do the top decal. Now, this is several separate pieces here. So we have this portion that goes down here, and then we also have this piece that goes up above. There's kind of a break in the plastic casing here, but this is installed as one piece. So again, just like before, we will remove the backing. Get the corner lifted up first. All right, and again, keeping it face down, 180-degree angle back. Make sure that none of the decal lifts up. All right, and throw the backing away. All right, now the easiest way to install this one, and because of my studio lights here, there's a little bit of a glare, so I hope you can see it. We're going to line it up two different places, both where your battery groove sits down here. You can kind of see the cross there, and then you want to make sure that it follows the inset of that line I mentioned earlier right there. All right, so then once you're sure you like where it's at, again, just like before, start in the middle and then work your way out to the edges. Now there is kind of a concave in here on the front part, so make sure that you work the decal into that concave. You can kind of see it forming here now, so that's where that is. Make sure you tuck that in real good. Make sure it's down before you kind of roll over the top of it. We don't want to get any bubbles stuck down in this slight crease here. And again, we're just using light pressure right now until we get all the way out to the edge, and then we can go back over a little harder with our finger. And then of course, lastly, we'll use the squeegee. All right, now squeegee time. This one will work from the center to the outside. And again, center to the outside. Just make sure you add firm pressure. All right, and then the easiest way to remove this one is from the front to the back. So again, 180-degree angle on that transfer tape. We're going to roll it backward. Now you can see, let's see if I can get the camera to see this. This is barely lifting right here. You can just push it down, and using your fingernail or your finger, make sure that goes back down. So again, we're going to go again. Again, we're going to go nice and slow. Keep watching that whole line across here. Make sure that it's staying down. All right, and you can kind of see this is pulling up here. It is okay to gently rub it down with your finger after you've lifted up. Again, if you follow these lines, you'll usually be okay. All right. And that is it. And likewise, if you get your FAA decals from us, those go on similarly. They are not included with this decal set. You have to get them separately, but you can install those exactly the same manner. So you may ask why we have numbers on our battery decals. Well, that's so we evenly use the batteries. So when I go out for the day and I'm flying, and I will stick in my first pack, like say I'm starting on pack number 1, I will go all the way through. Say I only use 2 packs. I'm done with pack 1, pack 2. I know that pack number 1 and pack number 2 needs charged. And then I will put pack number 3 in for use the next day, and so on. So we're always going through one at a time. So we don't have, battery 1 has 18 charges on it, and battery 2 and 3 only have, 2 or 3 charges on it. We're kind of evenly using them across the board. So that is it for the installation portion of the video. Links are in the description below for these decal sets. They do come in white, black, silver metallic, gold metallic, grabber blue, I like to call that DJI blue, red, orange, lime green, and yellow. If you have any questions while installing them, please feel free to reach out to us on our contact form on our website. We also have a link in the bottom corner to reach us through Facebook Messenger, and we will be glad to answer any questions for you. So that is it for this video, guys. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. It's always appreciated. And as always, fly safe. Bye for now.